This is Alpha Within. Real confidence. Real mindset. Today, why solitude isn't weakness, it's your edge. Let's get into it. Most people are afraid of being alone. They run from silence. They constantly seek company, noise, distraction. But if you ever want to unlock your full potential, you have to learn to be alone. You have to stop seeing solitude as a punishment and start seeing it as a weapon. Because the truth is, the most powerful people in this world are the ones who have mastered the art of being alone. When you're alone, there's no one to impress. There's no performance. You're not acting. You're not adapting to anyone else's expectations. You're raw. You're real. You're just you. And that's where growth begins. See, the world tells you that being alone means you're a loser, that you're lonely, that you're not good enough to have friends or a relationship. But that is society's trap. Because if you're always surrounded by people, always plugged into the noise, when do you ever actually meet yourself? When do you ever confront your weaknesses, your desires, your habits, your dreams? You don't. You stay distracted. You stay shallow. And you stay weak. The Sigma mindset isn't about isolation just for the sake of it. It's about choosing solitude over fake company. It's about walking alone because you'd rather walk with your thoughts than waste your time with people who don't get you. When you learn to be alone, you take full responsibility for your life. You stop blaming your circumstances. You stop depending on others for happiness. You become your own source, your own energy, your own peace. That's real power. That's Sigma. When you sit in silence, your mind starts talking. You start to hear your insecurities, your regrets, your fears. And that's uncomfortable. That's why most people avoid it. But the people who grow, they face that noise head on. They sit with it. They study it. And they transform it. Being alone gives you the space to sharpen your mind like a blade, to get clear on what you want, to make moves in silence, to stop leaking your energy to people who don't deserve it. You don't owe anyone your time. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't have to go to that party, answer the text, hang out with people who drain you. Protect your solitude like it's gold. Because it is. Solitude is where ideas are born. It's where clarity happens. It's where the blueprint for the life you want gets built. People think success is made in crowds, in meetings, in public. But real success, it's made in silence. In your room, on a late night, with nobody watching, with nobody clapping, just you and your grind. You ever notice how the loudest people usually aren't the strongest? They talk so much because they're trying to prove something. But the Sigma? He doesn't need to prove anything. He lets his silence talk for him. He lets his actions speak. That's why he's underestimated. And that's his advantage. He's not chasing attention. He's not thirsty for validation. He's building in the shadows, watching, thinking, preparing. So when he steps out, he's 10 steps ahead. When you embrace solitude, you start seeing things for what they are. Fake friends fall away. Shallow distractions lose their shine. You stop chasing things that never really mattered. And you start chasing purpose. You start becoming someone you respect. That's what confidence is. Not the loud, fake bravado, but the quiet, steady power of a man who knows who he is. A man who doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, doesn't follow. He leads himself. There's a kind of peace that comes with solitude that no crowd can offer. No hype, no party, no applause can replace it. It's the peace of knowing that you don't need anyone to feel whole, that you're not lonely, you're just focused. You're not bitter, you're just selective. That's what most people won't understand. They'll call you cold, arrogant, antisocial. Let them talk. Because while they waste time proving they belong, you're building a life where you don't need anyone's approval. You don't build confidence by being liked. You build it by doing hard things, by walking alone, by choosing the hard path over the easy one. And that starts with choosing solitude, with being okay in your own space, with your own thoughts, with your own energy. The more time you spend alone, the more you learn about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, what makes you tick, what drives you. That self-awareness is lethal. It's the foundation of confidence, of purpose, of power. So many people move through life trying to be everything to everyone. They shapeshift. They pretend. They say yes when they mean no. They go places they don't want to go. They stay in relationships that drain them just to avoid being alone. But what they don't realize is when you avoid solitude, you avoid growth. You avoid becoming who you were meant to be. Because that version of you, the confident, calm, grounded version, he only shows up when the noise dies down, when the masks come off, when it's just you alone in the dark doing the work. There's no shortcut to this, no hack, no cheat code. It's just you and time, you and effort, you and a decision to stop running from yourself and start facing yourself. Most people will never do that. They'll always need a crowd, always need a distraction. But you're built different. You're willing to go through the quiet, to go through the discomfort, to embrace the loneliness that comes before the breakthrough. Because once you master being alone, you're unstoppable. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop reacting and start creating. You don't need the world. You build your own. You build it in silence, in solitude, in peace. And that's where the real power lives. So if you're feeling alone right now, good. Stay there. Sit with it. Use it. Let it mold you. Let it teach you. Let it sharpen you. That silence you're hearing, that's your training ground. That's where the new you is being born. Not in noise, not in comfort, but in the stillness, in the grind, in the lonely hours that nobody sees. Because that's the Sigma way. That's the path of the uncommon. And if you've got the discipline to walk it, you won't just become confident. You'll become unshakable. So walk alone, think deep, move smart, and never, ever be afraid of solitude. Because solitude isn't your enemy. It's your edge.